And hello there and welcome from Terry right here behind the Agorapreneurs logo that's there. And I'm joined by the lovely and charming Gina Carr, who is joining me right now. And welcome to this live presentation. Gina, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. It's April 3rd and just ready to rock right into spring here and loving life. How about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. It's amazing. It's April the 3rd here as well. Isn't that a coincidence? How about that? But we're going to talk about a lot of good things today, and we are just so glad to have all the folks joining us today from platforms all over. We're using Restream to get this out to the world and using a little bit of eCam to gussy it up a little bit here. I think that's the technical term for it. We gussy it up a bit and get a lot of good information that way. And we're going to be covering three important things today because we had that wonderful graphic put together. Let's see if I can find this right here. That graphic that I put together. Let's take a look at how that all fits together. Hold on, let me go over here. And there we are. There's the graphic. Gina, do you see the graphic on there right now?
I see the cover graphic that we did. Yes, I do.
There we are. Yeah, that's the 3 ways to rev up your revenue. And by the way, do you notice the motion in that? Isn't that kind of cool? Woo-hoo. You know, you can put it back in there like that. So we're going to be doing this with a combination of Agorapreneurs and video rock stars. The two sides got together and aligned together and working together. Gina, isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
I think it's got a lot of good stuff there to it. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to cover some very important points that are about the three things you can do, because right now, today is an important day. Today's that Saturday right after the end of Q1 and going into Q2. I always like to use the weekends, the Saturday or Sunday time, sometime at the end of a quarter after it's over, where we can sit down and we can say, okay, here, what happened? What kind of things are going on that we want to know what's happening and what is available, who is there, and be able to see all of that as well. And so we've got some good things happening here. Matter of fact, our dear, wonderful friend, Julianne Sullivan is joining us. Julianne, nice to have you here with us today. And I know she's out there. Let's see, she could ask a question here. How can we see this on eStream? Actually, it's being used right now on Restream, and the beauty of Restream is that in using that, you just go to Facebook, or the Facebook group, or you go to a YouTube channel. If you go to Agorapreneurs on YouTube, you'll see it there. If you go to Facebook, to our group for Video Rock Stars, the challenge, go to the challenge group, you'll see it there. If you go over to Agorapreneurs on YouTube, you can see it there. You can go over to my channel on LinkedIn and you'll see it there. That's one of the nice things about using Restream. It is really nice. Oh, and by the way, she said here Restream. Corrected that right away. Very good. So Julianne, our dear friend up there in Pittsburgh. I think she's in Pittsburgh today. I'm not sure. But
Julianne, can you let us, excuse me, Terry, Julianne, can you let us know where you're seeing it from? We're trying to figure it is actually broadcasting to right now. I'm seeing it in our Facebook challenge group. All right, so that looks good, but let us know where you're watching it from. Whoever's out there, please let us know. Just put in the comments, say, I'm so-and-so watching it on wherever, and let us know where you're coming in from today.
Yeah, notice she does have the Facebook where she is seeing it right now. We can see that with the F for Facebook there, and we've got that live. I really love this technology that we can use with this, and it puts it in there. And she said, yes, I am. That's very good. And I am on Facebook. That's right. So she's right there on Facebook. We see the F, and anyone coming in from LinkedIn, for instance, will see that as well. It's very nice. And I think this is really important because it gives us the ability to reach out to a lot of people all over, wherever they might be, so that you're not saying, hey, you must come over to where I am. We're saying we're going to where you are. And that's very nice. And like, for instance, we've got Ed Taylor. Hey, Santa is here. Right. Ed, it's great to hear from you, my friend. And he's on right now through LinkedIn. And so those of you that are marketers, entrepreneurs that are marketers, think about what's happening. We're able to reach out for folks over on LinkedIn, people that are also over in various Facebook groups there, and all because of Restream. And which, by the way, let me just click down here, Gina. Did you notice that little smooth segue? Da-da-da-da. We do have Restream, and it's available for you. If we've got a special for you, if you go over to look at Restream, if you choose to get it, they've got a free version and a paid. If you start with the free, go on up to the paid. If you go to the paid, use this code and you get a $10 credit, which will be really nice. We'll get a couple of coins for that, but you'll get $10 there. It'll be bit.ly Restream4, notice the number 4, U, and a small U there. Put that in there and you'll be able to get that and see it both ways. So a lot of good stuff happening there, and that is working. So Ed Taylor, who does an excellent presentation, makes many, many people, children of all ages, very happy during Christmas time and other times of the year too. So Ed, nice to have you with us and have you join us on all that. That's right, Santa Ed, we love it. And we got another one here from Julianne. Now I am on LinkedIn. Look at this. Well, Julianne, I think we're going to give you the badge for first person on today's broadcast, our live stream here, to reach us from 2 different channels. How about that? So that's quite an accomplishment. What do you think, Gina?
That's cool. I love it.
Yeah, it is. Well, what we want to do is want to get into some of the other things that we're talking about, but let you know, first of all, this is coming to you right now to talk about how you're going to be able to use the technology, those 3 ways you can do this. And we've got something special for you right now that I put together. If you haven't seen this yet, you want to. We're getting a lot of good comments on it from the 5K program. It's how to create compelling quality content quickly. Get it? The 5K? Yeah, okay, something like that. So anyway, you want to bounce over there and get that. There's videos with it, and there's no charge to you. And in addition to that, you'll also get some good content as you'll get on the list and get a chance to see that on a regular basis as well. And another thing we want to mention, Gina, I'm going to have you talk to us a little bit more about this. We got Owen Video, the world-famous star of YouTube, a wonderful guy, by the way. I took his course, really enjoyed it, and he is going to be coming to see us over on Video Rock Stars. Real handy. So Gina, tell us a little bit about what that is and how we're going to be able to see Owen Video himself.
Well, Owen is going to be joining us for our 30 videos in 30 days challenge, which is going on right now in one of our free Facebook groups for the Video Rockstars. And he'll be joining us on Wednesday to talk about some of the things that he's doing, some of his secrets and keys to YouTube success, which you have been learning about and incorporating. This is also part of a challenge. We have a challenge within a challenge. So we have 30 videos of 30 days challenge going on. And then within that, we have the Rev Up Your Revenue challenge, which I will be doing with Judy Jernad this week. And Judy's a longtime friend of ours. She's a really successful businesswoman, and she knows how to coach entrepreneurs, how to share the secrets of success, the ways that folks can really rev up their revenue, build their brand, build their business and book more business because of her techniques, her strategies, and the things she'll be sharing. So that's going to be happening at 4 p.m. Eastern every day this week in our free Facebook group. So we hope you can join us there. And some of you guys may be able to join us in the Zoom room as well. So we'll be broadcasting into the group, and then we'll be using Zoom. So lots of tools. I guess the tools aren't as important as the content that we'll be sharing and the ways that folks can interact. But yeah, Wednesday on the 7th is when Owen will be joining us.
Yes, Wednesday the 7th, which will be really good. And we're going to have some really good content. I really admire Owen, not only for what he does technically, he's brilliant technically on how to work YouTube, how to develop your channel, how to grow it. He's helped me a lot. And I came in knowing a lot about it, but boy, I have gone even farther and I want to go even farther. He's got really good content. So Owen, if you're watching this, we really appreciate you, buddy, and all you're doing. Oh, and by the way, also look, Gina, we've got Beverly joining us here as well. And it looks like we got a phone ringing over here that has not been silenced. So guess what we're going to do on that? We're silencing it right now.
Oh my goodness.
We're keeping it
Hello,
real.
Beverly.
But Beverly, nice to have you with
Beverly.
us today. And we can see she's joining us. Gina, you know, I'm pretty clever. I figured out she's joining us from Facebook because I can see that F there in the lower left corner on her picture. Kind of cool, huh?
Yes.
So we've got that. So Beverly, nice to have you here with us today. Thanks for stopping by. And another comment here from the wonderful Julianne. Julianne says, Video Rockstar is continuously valuable. Think I've been a part of that for over a year. How about that? And we're glad to have you with us.
You were one of our very first folks. And so we're coming up on 2 years. In May, we'll be celebrating our 2-year anniversary. And you were our very first, I won't say guinea pig, but you were our very first person who put your video out there for us to give you feedback. And I'm forever grateful for that. That was really wonderful and very memorable occasion. The first time we did our Video Rockstars lab, where we were helping to evaluate videos. And we still do some of that. But in Video Rockstars, what we do more of these days is training, providing content, providing accountability and masterminding opportunities for video creators, folks who want to use video-based online courses and membership programs to grow their business.
Yeah, very good. And I see Julianne's comment here, always something new to learn no matter what level you are at. I agree. I think that we're always learning. And matter of fact, that's one of the things we're doing here on this is why we wanted to come on here at the end of Q1, going into Q2. We're in there now, a few days in, and look at what we've done and given those 3 concepts and ideas, because that's really how we learn and it's how we grow, how we move ahead and get moving with that. So Gina, what do you say we get into the first way that we can do it? There's several different things that are available. Are you ready for it?
Let's go.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is go over here and we can take a look here at the quarterly review. And that's what you want to do, is have that quarterly review where you look at what worked and what didn't work. I think those are really important considerations that you want to make sure that what you're looking at, you're seeing, okay, this is what we saw that worked really well. Here's what we saw that didn't work so well, and how we can turn that around and how we can make it work in different ways. We're constantly learning from that. And I think that it's important to know that as you keep changing and as you keep learning and growing, what you're doing is you're looking at what worked well and then what didn't work so well, the kind of information that you have that's there. So that I think is going to be important, looking at both of those. Gina, what are your thoughts on part of the quarterly review regarding what worked, what didn't work, and where we go from there?
Well, I think breaking it down by quarter is a good way to break it down. I like to, when I'm at my best in planning, I like to plan for 12 months. And then I like to back that up to 90 days. That's the same as a quarter. Yeah. And then I like to take on a month-to-month basis. And then for this week and then this day, what needs to be done. And although a Q1 review is important, I do like to roll it out 90 days each time a month is completed. Okay, so next 90 days, next 90 days, next 90 days. But taking a snapshot, much like a sports event, at the end of that first quarter, how are you doing? Are you tracking with your goals? Are you on track to meet your goals of the plan that you set forth? So I think that's really important. And I do it in a combination of written. I have a big book. I have a new book this year. It's a big old planning book, and it's awesome.
That's quite a good book.
And then I have some things that are written on documents, Google Docs as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things you like the planning and the physical planners. I tend to like those that are more electronic. But I think the key is you find what works best for you and just work with that for sure. And by the way, speaking of what works, got a comment here from Bob Pick, our wonderful periodontist dentist up there in Chicagoland. Purple Cow, wow. He's not only a periodontist, but also, I think I told you, he's getting his MBA at Harvard as well. So he's taking the courses and still working on that and all that. You've heard of Harvard, haven't you, somewhere?
Well, I have. So, Robert, do they allow you to, are you on campus, or do they have some sort of an off-campus MBA program? I'd be curious to know that.
Yeah, from what he was telling me, it's off campus because he's in Chicago running a practice and doing his dentisting as a periodontist. And I know him through Paul Goodman, a dentist over in Philadelphia I'm working with, and Dr. Nachos, Dental Nachos, they're called. And Bob is doing that. An amazing guy. If you when you get a chance to meet Bob, you will enjoy him. Amazing guy. Purple Cow, wow, with the idea of the Seth Godin. Purple cows are something you don't see. You want something to stand out. And Bob talks about that and does it very, very well. Bob, it's really good to have you here with us today. Thanks for being here. So that's one of the things that we want to look at, is we want to make sure that as we address what's going on, we have our quarterly review, find out what didn't work, and then adjust that and look for setbacks that you might see. From time to time, you're going to see those setbacks. You're going to say, okay, what do we do on that? How are we going to handle it? What do we do? And I think what we've got to do is we got to say, all right, we got to deal with them and make sure that we go for it. And then your opportunities for Q2. Now, this is really important because we get down to where we are and what's going on. We want to look at what's coming up in the future. What kind of things do we see happening and what's going to be there as we look forward? And Gina, I know that's something that here I keep hitting that one screen that's not the right one here. I'm going to click. I love clicking all these buttons that I've got here. And I'm the geek in me just loves this stuff and do it. But I find that as we're looking forward to the future, there's a lot that we can look at. We've got a lot of opportunities. What are some important principles that you have found, Gina, that help you when you're looking forward to, like in this case, Q2 and the rest of the year? What are some of the things that help you most?
Well, I think one of the things is just to try to stay focused on the big picture and to determine 3 goals that are very important versus I have my to-do lists that are just, way too deep, way too long. And I'm really focusing on 3 big goals for the quarter, 3 big goals for the month, and 3 big goals for the day. And by narrowing it down to those things, I'm getting more in alignment and getting more done such that I can do those things that are most important. And other things just are going by the wayside. And I don't like that, but I can't do everything.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes don't we wish that we could do everything? We got so much we want to do. I find that the biggest challenge really is time. That's what we're confronting with because we can go out and we can earn more money, but we can't get more time. And so that's a toughie. However, finding the importance of leveraging by using others and helping, working with others to make sure we get that, like using the services of Fiverr and Upwork and tools like that, I find can be really helpful in giving us what we need. You've done a lot with that, Gina. You have been throughout your life really good in working with and leading people, working with it. What would you say to a person that says, I just want to do it all myself? I don't need anybody. I can just do it on my own.
Well, I certainly am guilty of that as well. I do use team members, and then there are a lot of things that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. So what I would say is that while it's probably going to take more time initially to train someone in how you want things done, in the long run, it's going to be much more worthwhile because then you can focus on those things that only you can do, the things that are really in your wheelhouse of magic, the things that you need to be bringing to the world versus things that can be done by others. And you can use tools like Loom. Loom is a tool that you've taught us in Video Rockstars. A lot of our Video Rockstars are using Loom. And that's just a basic, simple video tool that allows you to record your screen. So, for example, this morning I was teaching a client how to do some basic marketing of virtual events. And I should have had Loom going probably in the background so that I can share that with my assistant for some new things that I want her to be doing when she's helping me to market my events.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, having those folks there to help with that. And Julianne had another comment here, a plan equals success. Oh, I love it. That's so good. I need to know where I'm going and also that there may be some bends in the road and be ready for that. That is critical because we start saying, okay, we're going to lay out our plans and the plans are good. Mike Tyson is famous for his quote of saying, yeah, your plans are good until you get hit in the face. And then everything changes. And so as a boxer, he knows what he's talking about on that. And I think that Julianne's talking about here, there's going to be some bends in the road and be ready for that. Start preparing for it. What are your thoughts on that, Gina? And how do you go about preparing for inevitable things that you don't even know they're going to happen?
Well, I think if 2020 taught us anything, it taught us that we need to be flexible. We need to be able to pivot. The big word of 2020, of course, pivot. And to be able to immediately assess. And so being small entrepreneurs, being small business owners, we're able to be more flexible and to make those adjustments as needed. And so you and I had been working on being more virtual for years and being more geographically independent for years. And so it wasn't a real hard pivot for us, but for a lot of people it was. But I saw people really go through and embrace the need to change, embrace those bends in the road, as Julianne is saying.
Yes, I think so. And by the way, we got a comment here from Bob again. Be remarkable is an amazing way, or in an amazing way. Thanks. Yes, indeed. It is. That's what being a purple cow wow is. You are remarkable. You stand out in a way that people go, wow, that is really, really good. And I think that, Bob, you are definitely doing that. And you said that's what you two are doing now. Well, thank you, Bob. We appreciate that. And I think that that is a real important thing, that you find out what you can do to make them say, wow. Our mutual friend, Winston Marsh, talks about that a lot. Guru in marketing over in Australia, one of the founders of the what is now called the Professional Speaking Australia. And people that are over there, he is a speaker, and he said that he's worked a lot with dentists, by the way. And he talks about doing something that makes people just go, wow, how did you do that? What did you do? We want to work with you. And I think that if you can prepare yourself for that, whatever happens, all kinds of unusual opportunities that come along, also all kinds of unusual setbacks that will hit you. That's the way it works on planet Earth. We found out now. Maybe Orion 3 is different. I don't know. Last time I was, oh, never mind. I'm not supposed to talk about that. But on planet Earth, we know it works that way here. So we're going to adapt to that and adjust. We got another comment here from Beverly. I'm always doing too much rather than delegating. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Boy, that is important. Gina, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a really good one, Beverly. And that's one thing that I'm going through right now. Our business, Video Rockstars, is growing a lot, and I'm going through some growing pains, but I'm really focused on getting my mindset right, that if I don't delegate, if I don't grow the team, I'm going to be stuck. I'm just not going to be able to accomplish the big goals that I have for myself, which include the ability to serve a lot more people with the special talent and knowledge and abilities that I have. And as long as I'm doing those things, and it's easier for me to have my groceries delivered and to have the house cleaned and those kind of things. But when it comes to, oh, I need to set up a new website, or I need to do this email and those sorts of things, it's easier for me to do it myself. It really is. But I know that I need to grow the team so that I can help more people, so I can stay focused on the directions. And so I just need to push through. And I think that that's the advice that I would give to someone, is push through. Every team member you hire will not necessarily work out, but you can get some that will be with you for years. I have several team members that have been with me for 12 years, and they're fantastic, and they really help me a lot. And it's just finding the gems like that that can help you grow, that are make it all worthwhile. And then I know I'm helping them, and they're helping me, and I'm able to help more people because of that.
Yeah, Gina, I'll say publicly here, you have helped me in that a lot, to understand the importance of bringing in others around us and be able to have them there doing for us. We can't buy more time, but you kind of sort of can. I guess if you put that kind of sort of in front of it, you can do a lot of things, but getting others to help on that. And that relates, by the way, to the second point we wanted to talk about. The first being, do your quarterly reviews, ways to generate a revenue. And a second one here, really important, is mentor. Hire a mentor and think about doing it with Zoom coaching. That's a beauty that we have today, a really wonderful option, because what you can do in today's world is you're able to bring in people that are smart from all over the world. Before, we would think, well, it's got to be somebody local. Well, now local, for me and for many, has become planet Earth, because we can bring in people from wherever they are, help us out, be able to start working with them and getting a lot done, moving around, adapting and adjusting and shifting, so that we can say, okay, whatever it takes, we're going to be able to adjust. We're going to be able to bring in people and help us with a lot of that. Gina, you've done that a lot. And what helps you to realize, okay, you need to bring people in, and how do you find the right people when you're looking for a mentor or others?
Well, I think with the mentor, it's important to identify what is the skill set, or what are the results that you're wanting to achieve. And as much as possible, access someone who you believe is the best in the world at that, who is willing to share their knowledge with you at a price that you can afford. So I know I've made some pretty big leaps in the past with hiring mentors, joining coaching programs, joining mastermind groups, where I'm learning from someone that they're a few steps ahead of me, or they're a lot of steps ahead of me, but that's who I want to learn from because I have big goals and I really want to work to achieve those. So I'm willing to make the investment of the time, money, and effort it takes to learn from those mentors. And that's one of the reasons that I'm happy to be presenting Judy Jernid this week in our Rev Up Your Revenue Challenge, because she's a great example. I've worked with her on and off for years. She's always had an assistant right there by her side physically. And, she just really believes in having someone to work with her. She's had several team members, but right now I'm working directly with her and her assistant to do this. So it's just so smart to have someone who can help you with those things that there's no need for you to learn how to do. I don't need to know how the microwave works to use the microwave. So I want someone like that who can just put the thing in the microwave, let it go. I just say, okay, I want some warm oatmeal right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. You don't have to learn everything. And I've found that we actually do better if we can specialize in those areas that we do best and get the others there. I think Peter Drucker says it so well. Do what you do best, hire the rest. And it just makes all the sense in the world. Matter of fact, Beverly mentioned something like that. She hired someone to help me launch my new podcast. We've set a launch date of May 4th. It's such a relief to not have to do it all. Absolutely, Beverly, you're doing the right thing there and doing that. And Gina, she also mentioned here, she has a mentor. And they meet every Saturday morning, so I should have met just a little while ago today via Zoom. Doing that is really admirable. That is something that really says a lot, because when you have that mentor, you can do so much more than you could otherwise. So that's why we mentioned having that. And then networks are another way that you can get mentors. I know that in the mentor work that I'm doing, having worked with a lot with speakers around the country, working with the National Speakers Association, as well as the Global Speakers Federation, I find people who can mentor me and can help me in many different ways. They have specialized knowledge in different fields, and that just makes all the difference in the world. So that networks are very important. And then also, here's another way you can get mentors, through books and videos. You can sit down and talk with someone, so to speak, with their book, so that you can get information from people, whoever they are, that you admire throughout history. I learned that from people like James Altucher and Ryan Holiday and others that was mentioned. Why not have Seneca or Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus or other great people that you admire who have their knowledge written in books? Today, of course, with video, it's the same thing. You can start learning. And the opportunities today, I'm just flabbergasted in a good way how much more we can do and how we can proceed forward in today's world. It just really makes all the difference in the world, I think, by being able to have those kind of mentors. Gina, what are some ways that you reach out to find mentors and work with them?
Well, I am just constantly in tune with what's going on in the world in terms of marketing, and especially my focus is online digital programs that are mainly delivered digitally, helping people in group settings, not so much one-on-one. I don't do a lot of one-on-one work anymore, but mainly helping people in group settings who want to help people in group settings. So people who want to move from the one-on-one client into group programs. So I'm learning how to do that better. I'm learning from people that are 8-figure entrepreneurs, how they're doing it. And I'm coming back and incorporating those principles into my own business and teaching people how to do that in this special genre, this special area of experts who want to do that sort of thing. But I agree with you that you can't consider mentors people who are writing books, people who are delivering videos and doing programs. Even if you can't directly speak with them, in a way, they can be your mentors, because you can really learn so much from them just by tuning in and just being immersed in the body of work that they have, either by reading or listening or watching videos. And so I think that that's one thing that you can do.
Yeah, I think so. That makes a lot of sense on that. So make sure you have that. And then also, here's something that is major important. You want to do this. We can't really stress this one enough. What you want to do is you want to be able to have someone that's going to be there, that's going to help you in working with you, helping you, guiding you through it. It can save so much time and mental anguish and effort when you're trying to do something and not able to get it done as much as you want. I'm finding that, matter of fact, one of the things I do, Gina, you know this, I've just engaged services of two people, we haven't started yet, that are experts on YouTube and working with video from different points of view. I mentioned I worked with Owen. He did a fabulous job. Love working with him, and I highly recommend it. And looking at working with some other people in different areas, I'm going to have someone help me specifically on my podcast. So I find what you want to do is have different coaches for different areas. I learned that particularly well from my buddy Harvey McKay. He's written several best-selling New York Times books. One of them, Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. And Harvey told me that long ago, he said, Terry, it's important to have not just a coach in this one area, but have coaches in different areas. He'd have a coach for golf. He'd have a coach for his speaking. He'd have a coach for his business. Have a coach for many different areas of life that are all important. And so I would say really important to have those kind of people around you and be able to have them available for you in different areas. And so we can do that. And Gina, I think we're ready now for the number 3 here, build connecting videos. This is point number 3 that I think really can help set you apart from others in some profound ways by having the human connections virtually. And one way we do that is with Loom. Gina, you know I've been using Loom for quite a while now and really enjoy getting a chance to work with it and see how it works. What you want to do today is, as you're connecting with people, find out how to have that warm human connection virtually. Virtually do it. Most people think, oh, gee, it's just distant. It's not the same as in person. Okay, we get it. It's not the same. But still, you can do a whole lot if you concentrate, kind of like we do in Video Rockstars, and talk to people about connecting. What are some of your thoughts on that, Gina, about the importance of connecting with people virtually in a human way?
Well, I love that through video, I can really connect with people. I can get to know them. I can develop relationships. I can instruct team members in how I want things done. Just all this week, I was thinking about just even yesterday, you and I had a call with someone who is likely to be potentially a big part of our lives in the future. We like a new service that he's offering, and possibly he may sponsor us. We may promote his service to the rest of the world. So that sort of connection is really key. And I would say that it's probably much stronger because we could be on video than if we had just been via phone.
Yeah, I think the beauty of video, when you particularly can master that and connect with people in a warm, human-to-human way, is that what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to multiply that so that you can be in different places with different people easily. Matter of fact, that leads us to another point here. Of course, Zoom. We're using Zoom in many different fields. We're not using Zoom right now. We are using Zoom in many other areas. But right now, we're using Restream and Ecamm. So Ecamm can make sure we bring up the graphics, and I can say, oh, let's take a look at the slides. You know, there's the slide. Then I can take a look at me, and then we see each other, some of the side-by-side, really geeky things that are neat there. But I think using Zoom is a great way to connect with people. And I would encourage you watching this, think about how you can take Zoom and turn it into a much more human way of connecting. Yes, you're socially distancing. Well, actually, I would correct that and say you're physically distancing, which is what we want to do. They talk about in the pandemic. Yeah, this stuff can be passed by humans, and so physically distance, but I think we need social connections. And we need to be there. Zoom gives us the ability to do that, and I would recommend doing that. And one other tool that I want to mention, I think real good, Big View. Gina, you've seen me working with Big View, doing a lot of things with it. It's one of my favorite little tools that I've got. It gives you the ability to get some captions, gives you the ability to get a whole lot of other tools in there and be able to put them all together. So I found that Big View really good. What about you, Gina? What are your thoughts on video like Loom, Zoom, Big View, and others that are helping you to connect?
Well, I really like the live format, such as what we're doing right now. So we're using Ecamm to broadcast through Restream. I love the tool Restream because it allows us to simulcast to several different channels at once. So we're broadcasting in several different places in Facebook. And so while, yes, we could see the Facebook icon, I was curious if people are watching on the page or in the group or wherever they were watching. So I love that. We could also be broadcasting to LinkedIn and YouTube as we're doing now. So I just like live video. I love the fact that people can comment. I love that you can feature the comments. You're doing that through the eCam functionality, but Restream allows that as well. And so there's just something really powerful. And it goes to the human connection of when I see your eyeballs, the oxytocin in my body is activated. That's maybe not the exact right scientific explanation,
Well, I think
but
it's
that's
close
what I've
enough. Yeah.
heard. Yeah. Arthur Brooks, a professor at Harvard Business School, has a podcast called The Art of Happiness. And I've had the opportunity to hear him recently in a couple of
He's
Harvard
great.
Business School events. Yeah, and he talks about how that's part of what makes us happy is connecting with other people, and that's eye to eye. So the eyes have it. Go to the eyes. Make sure your eyes are showing in your photos and in your videos, and make sure that when you're doing video, just a little tip for you guys, make sure you have light on your face so that people can be seeing you, and make sure that your camera is positioned so that in a place where you can look at the camera. Don't look down, don't look over here. If you have to glance around a little bit, good, but mostly do what you can to get your camera stabilized and have really good eye contact with that camera.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, the tool that you and I are using right now, Gina, is PlexiCam. And PlexiCam at plexicam.com is a great little tool. And yeah, just like that. And you notice what it is. We can put our camera on top of that, put the webcam on top of it, and then you hang that over the monitor. Like I've got a monitor in front of me right now, and it's there. As a matter of fact, here, Gina, I'm going to show the kids what most of them have been relatively well behaved today. So we're going to go ahead and show them this. Here we are. This is what I'm using right now. And you'll see, there we are. You see us, the screen there on my monitor, and then here is my webcam, and then here's my PlexiCam. See how it fits over my monitor like that, and goes down here, all the way down there, that with the acrylic right here, and it gives us the ability to have that, so that then when I look into the camera, I'm looking directly in the camera, but I can still see a lot of what's going on behind us. And I can make sure that it gets, again, a much more human connection by having that. When they can see you there, they can see you sitting there, and I think that's a real good way to do it.
That's terrific. And I'm going to attempt a little demo that I haven't done before. So holding up my other little computer that's sitting over to the side here. So if you had one of these, you would just pop it on top here. Let's see, this one looks like maybe that's a little too big for this. So you have to be sure that you get the right size.
Yeah, and they have different sizes.
They have too big, but I use it for the monitor, not for the. Some people put it right on the computer, but I put it right on my monitor.
Yeah, I think it's good they do that. They've got several different styles of PlexiCam that you can get, and it's ideal for connecting. Oh, and by the way, it's also ideal as a teleprompter, so that you've got a script that's really important. You can put it into Word or Pages or whatever tool you're going to use, and then you put it down there, position it so the margins are small, put it right underneath the camera, so as it scrolls and you're scrolling it with your mouse side, you've got yourself a wonderful little teleprompter for a real inexpensive price. Like once you got the PlexiCam.
Yes, and I think they actually get a discount if they go to GinaLoves.com/PlexiCam.
Well, hold on a minute.
Special page.
We hadn't planned on that, but Gina, I'm going to put that in here. It's Gina Loves PlexiCam.
GinaLoves.com/PlexiCam.
Oh, GinaLoves.com/PlexiCam. I'm going to put that on the screen here. There we go. And that's okay. It is on the screen, but that's kind of small. So what we want to do is we want the world to see this. We're going to make it a lot larger with something like that. There we go. How's that, Gina?
There you
go.
Pretty clever? That's a good way to get it. Yeah.
We can put that in there. See, this is, again, we are able to use this technology. Terry geeks out a little bit here. And the wonders of eCam gives us the ability to do that so that you can get it. I think you get a little bit of a discount if you use that particular link. So it's a great little tool, but we really enjoy this and find it to be a great tool and highly recommend it. All right, well, that brings us to our 3 points, and we've covered a lot of ground today. And as we wind down this particular program, we encourage you watching to take some time this weekend, review Q1. Notice what has happened. Think about the good, some of the things that you liked, some of the things you wish wouldn't have happened, the good opportunities that are ahead for you now in Q2. Get ready to gear up bring in the resources you need, and if we can help you out, let us know. We do have our program, Video Rockstars, that gives you the ability to learn about video in a practical way. Gina, if somebody says, hey, I want to know a little bit more about that Video Rockstars thing, what would they need to do?
Well, the best way really is to go to videochallengegroup.com. That gives you access to our free Facebook group where you can get involved with Video Rockstars on a free basis. And then when we open Video Rockstars, you can get in there and you can just learn more about us and get to know us. And then when we open Video Rockstars again, it may be a good fit for you and you could join us then. I see that Julianne is saying that PlexiCam looking. So I'm looking for another PlexiCam link that I have here. Hang on a second. I know I have something.
Oh, it doesn't work? That one doesn't work? Well, then guess what, Julianne, thank you for that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to click a button here, and that one is gone. See how fast we can get rid of things that don't work?
All right, hang on just a second. Let's see. I think I can fix that right up, though.
Well, we can do it. By the way, folks, Gina does this a lot.
Works.
She sees something going wrong, and she's able to fix it and eradicate it pretty quickly. So I'm kind of anxious to see what she's going to come up with here. As the drums are rolling in the background, just go ahead and do your own drum roll wherever you are.
Well, Terry, this one works. bit.ly/Gina loves PlexiCam.
Ah, okay. Well, hang on a minute here. We'll put bit.ly/Gina loves PlexiCam. Is that right? There we go. And something like that.
Let me come back and see.
Yeah, there we go. So we got
there you go. That works.
Gina loves PlexiCam, and put it right there on the screen. By the way, I just want you to read between the lines for a moment, or watch between the lines on this. Notice what we did. We hadn't planned this, obviously. That's a beauty of, and the thrill of, and the danger of live streaming. Things can happen that you didn't plan, and we didn't plan on sharing this, but we can do it quickly and get it out there on the screen so that if someone says, hey, I want that, you can do a screenshot of it. You've got it, you go look it up, you can do it right there. And that's a whole lot better than just trying to talk it through, particularly if you're dealing with people that might not speak English as their native language. For those of us that are speaking English here, we do it as our native language, that's what we've learned, but others don't have that, they have another language. So this way, by using print, it makes it a little bit easier for them as well. And the PlexiCam is a great little tool.
That's good, and I do have the GinaLoves.com/PlexiCam link working now also.
Oh, so, okay.
We're good.
We've got it. Well, that is a wonderful thing. We can take that there and put it in here. And we got another note here. Let's see, from Julie. Said, yippee, that works. Gift for today. Thanks. Okay, we got it. You bet. Julianne, thank you for being with us. Thanks for joining us.
Julianne, I will say that be careful as you're making the order of as far as what monitor size that you use. I use a big monitor, and I got the small version to begin with just to try it out, but that turned out it was too small. So they have a sizing chart in there. It's real to use. I just ignored it the first time because I was so eager to get one. So take a look at that and see if it recommends that based on your monitor size that you need a bigger one before you place the order.
Yep, thank you. Very good point there. Well, Gina, once again, great doing live sessions with you. I appreciate that. And those of you joining us, thank you for being here. I wish you the very best. That Q2 is an incredibly good quarter for you. Lots of good things happening. And we will look forward to seeing you in different places. Gina, any final words before we say goodbye?
Just that it does take time out of the current activity to do the planning, but the more that you plan, the better off you're going to be. So do the planning. I think Julianne earlier said very well, planning equals success. So make sure you have time allocated and scheduled in advance for doing that planning. I encourage you to do it on a yearly basis, a quarter by quarter basis, monthly, weekly, and daily. Just break it down, make sure it's in your schedule. That's one of the things that I find really helps me when it's in my schedule.
Yep, absolutely. And Julianne says you both are awesome. Well, thank you. And Julianne, you too are awesome. We appreciate you, and we appreciate every one of you joining us here today. There we go. Yes, indeed, the nice heart. I like that little thing there. That's kind of kind of handy to have. You just never know when you might need. I might have to get one of those and have that available. Well, on behalf of all the team at Video Rockstars and Agorapreneurs, and Gina and I appreciate you being here today. Have a wonderful day, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.